A bit 16, you've never seen a review like this. Weird old games you cannot tame, these things you don't miss. SNES Man is the champion, he is 16-bit. SNES Man is the champion, he is 16-bit.
Hello, my name's SNES Man. Today I'm going to talk about Mega Man. For me, Mega Man's always been a good series, but it really came into its own with Mega Man X. This is a brilliant game and it's one of my favorites of all time. Let's start the adventure and get down to gaming. Mega Man X doesn't waste any time. From the first level, you're thrown into this futuristic world where the only defense from the evil armies is your Mega Buster. Unlike the earlier Mega Man games, you don't get to choose your first stage, you just have this one. But the gameplay is really similar to the old days. Charge up your Mega Buster and take down the armies of goons. Die, you stupid robots. At the end of the level, you'll face off with Vile, an evil robot who looks really intimidating, but it turns out you don't even have to beat him. No matter what you do, he'll beat you and you lose. It's like the game's laughing at you. Oh, think you can win? No, now you can't. So no matter what, Vile wins and calls Mega Man a worthless piece of scrap metal. So when all hope is lost, another character called Zero saves the day. Okay, this intro's really lame, because Mega Man can't even save himself. But it gets better! So after this very linear first stage, you actually get to choose your level, just like in the old Mega Man games. Except this time, all the robot masters are based off of animals. Despite the cheesiness, I actually like the animal robot masters, because in the old days, you had some really lame mans, like Dust Man, Centaur Man, Junk Man. Lame! So it was kind of refreshing to have animal bosses instead. This is where the game gets a lot more fun. Mega Man is an ever-changing character in this. He can level up by getting hearts and upgrading his health, and he can learn the dash move. This is really helpful and makes Mega Man more agile and quick than ever before. This is the first game where I ever felt that Mega Man really was Mega. Because of all his upgrades and interesting weapons, he becomes a very powerful character and really fun to play as. The controls are really tight and they let you do things you can never do in other games. For example, let's take the boss fights. In the old Mega Man games, you had little chance of beating the boss unless you had a special item that rock, paper, scissors style could take them down. But in this, you can beat enemies purely through skill and agility. Because Mega Man can jump off the walls and use all kinds of tactics, you can use more strategy and skill against them. It makes it a lot more fun. This agile Mega Man is just a blast to play as. The controls are more tight than almost any other platformer on the console. And the levels are well designed. There's many different kind of areas like ice, an atmospheric underwater level, and a plane flying through the sky. The music is phenomenal. It has a great energetic rock sound. That music's so awesome! It moves my soul. It's also a very visually appealing game. The graphics are colorful and some of the backgrounds really look brilliant. I guess there are some levels like this factory that look a bit dull, but overall the game's not too shabby in terms of graphics. But every Mega Man fan should know, what really makes Mega Man X shine is the gameplay. The fun factor is through the roof and it's just so enjoyable to play. It's a blast to upgrade your character and fight all your evil enemies. The challenge is very fair too. It's a challenging game but not to the point where it's really frustrating. Until the Sigma levels. These are the last few levels of the game where things get really ramped up in terms of difficulty. They can be frustrating to beat unless you use your resources well. And the bosses here, well, they pack a punch. Luckily, by this point in the game, your character should be upgraded to a near superhuman level. Once Mega Man gets all those fancy upgrades, he can pretty much terminate all his enemies. In Mega Man X, your character actually feels really strong, and harnessing that power with versatile attacks and techniques is just a blast. It's an experience you won't forget soon.
Things to make it better.
Less enemies in the vertical stages that impair your movement. More detailed backgrounds in a few of the stages. Passwords for between the Sigma levels. And a more interesting first level where you could dash right off the bat. But in the end, out of 10, what score does Mega Man X get? My verdict is 9 out of 10. A brilliant game. If you can overlook the flaws though, then I'd give it a 10. For me personally, I think it's a 10 out of 10 game in fun factor, but it does have flaws, so for everyone else I'd recommend a 9. However you look at it though, this is a brilliant game. It's tons of fun to play, the control is great, the music is excellent. Just play it if you haven't already. But wait, this isn't the only Mega Man X game. In fact, this started a whole series, and there's 2 others for the Super Nintendo. Because they're so rare and expensive, I recommend getting the Mega Man X collection for GameCube or PS2. This is a really great disc that includes all the X games. First, I'll give my brief thoughts about X2, the direct sequel. First of all, I didn't like the boss characters as much in this game. They're kind of ridiculous, like Wheel Gator. But X2 is a pretty good game. The graphics are a lot nicer than the first with very rich moving backgrounds. And the controls are very good. But for me, the level design is just a little more stiff, and it's more frustrating and difficult than the first one. And now the last one on the Super Nintendo was X3. Like the second game, this one has brilliant graphics, but this one also includes Zero as a playable character with his sword. For me, Zero was kind of cumbersome, and you could only play as him for limited times. So, despite this being a very good game, it's about equal with X2, and not as good as the first. Maybe I'm just biased, but the first Mega Man X is just my favorite Mega Man game of all time, and it's just a blast to play. So, until next time, I hope you liked my review, and I'll talk to you again sometime soon.